And we are live. Real Takes Over Fake Debates. We are back at it again. It is Friday, people. Sean, what's going on? How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm good, SB. How you doing, brother?
Oh, pretty good, man. You know, Bulls game on. We finna play the Magic. I think the court is red, so it is a in-season tournament game. I have my gear on today. It's the best day of the week. It's Friday. It's RTOfD day, man. I'm doing pretty good, though, Sean.
Yeah, man. Listen, we got so much to get into, man. Looking forward to tonight, man. I gotta tell you, man. This, I love our Monday show, but Fridays to me is always our favorite because we get to pick these games and obviously get to kind of recap what went on this week. So, man, I always look forward to Friday nights.
So sometimes in life, though, I do feel like I hate that I'm not a betting man because my mindset should have been when I'm down, obviously, in our picks of the weeks that we do, and it was a game we was tied. I have nothing to lose at this point. I should have just took the chance on the Broncos, and I thought about it. But I'm like, nah, and I would try to get you to do it. And these suckers went out and won. I could have probably had a dub, but that's what happened when you're not a betting man and life sucks.
I'll tell you this, though, real quick, that you mentioned that Vikings-Broncos game just became a little more interesting with the Broncos winning Friday night. And obviously the Vikings been on a little bit of a hot streak, as well. So that the Sunday night game definitely became more interesting with the Broncos winning on Monday night.
Yep. Okay. Now shout out to the TikTok people. I'm trying to put the TikTok live on. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all look far back. I have to get the angle right. But Sean, so as we get into the show, salute to the chat. We got Tiffany in the chat. We got Nichols in the chat. We got Goat in the chat. Anybody else in the chat, make sure y'all comment. Make sure you guys like. And make sure you guys subscribe to the Real Takes Over Fake Debates movement. So, Sean, obviously we have a show. And we do our thing. We try to give the people what they want sometimes. And obviously people have feedback and say their opinion on things. Like, sometimes people think that we kind of agree a lot. And sometimes I was like, we kind of really don't. It's just that we not going to do the argument thing back. Once you go for a real take and have a real take approach, I understand what you're saying, and I understand you understand what I'm saying. Like, I was like, we just had something with the Pat Riley thing. But sometimes people want us to be more engaged. So, okay. So we went a little bit more engaged in today. The main topic at hand is obviously we got to talk about Allen Iverson and MJ. But it's something we have to stop and get into that point because the reason why I brought that up is because this topic at hand kind of plays a part in that. And host Charissa Thompson apologized after saying she fabricated NFL sideline reports. Sean, you sent me this story, so I want you to go ahead and be first front on this and tell me what did she mean by that? Like, what do you mean fabricating the sideline report stories?
So basically, what happened was she was on a podcast, Pardon My Take, I believe it was on Wednesday, and she basically came out and said that early in her career as a sideline reporter, that when coaches wouldn't talk to her, certain players would talk to her, and she knew she was going to, get cut to during certain parts of the game. She would just kind of, make something up or whatever, and, reporting on the sidelines. And obviously, if you're a sideline reporter, sideline reporter is not an easy job, right?
No, it's not. I tried it before. It's hard.
Yeah, it's not an easy job because one, you don't have a lot of time.
Nope.
You got to be in and out. You got to get a story. You got to give facts. It's not for everybody. I know I couldn't do it. Wouldn't want to do it. A lot of times you're not in the comfort of the booth. You're literally on the sideline the entire game.
Be in Buffalo somewhere. You be in there.
Yeah, you be, and even
you in the office.
and even for an NBA game, you're moving around, you're trying to get, to people, stories, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it's not an easy job. But there are some people who, obviously have made their careers as sideline reporters. Lisa Salters, for example, has been a sideline reporter for a long time. Shout out to the late Craig Sager. Craig Sager. Craig Sager was the man. I have a friend of mine who, was a sideline reporter for many years with Turner. And she had a long career before she decided to step away and start a family. So it's not an easy job. at all. And then, and if I really been thinking about it, I should have reached out to her to see if she could have been on with us tonight to talk about this a little bit, but maybe another time.
Man, we can bring her back then. We can bring her for Monday. If she's available Monday, we can bring her on and then she can talk about the point. Because I understand from the point, it's a lot of things that come being a sideline reporter. Like, okay, so one would be in the sideline reporter. You have to be on your cues and your time, and then you got to write down whatever you're finna say, or you better be good at memorizing what you got to say, or you off the dome with the good freestyle, or you, like you said, whatever you write down, you got to memorize it. Then you hopefully you don't say nothing that's factually wrong. Then they might be going at you again, or you might not have them that start too much controversy. So it's like, I understand why, but like, I hope it would just like, oh yeah, I talked to Justin Jefferson on the sideline. He said he pretty much feeling like he's really in good shape to get expecting the game. If it's something like that, I don't really have too much of a problem with it. But I understand the complications of it because sometimes people don't want to talk to you. Everybody be in their certain moves, certain games, or they might be losing. Nobody want to talk about they losing, so it's tit for tat with that. So I know.
Yeah, and I wanted the reason I wanted to leave with this story first is because I want y'all to understand, when we fire this thing up every Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, we don't just fire it up and get on here just to run our mouths, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of research. It's a lot of things that we do every day throughout the week on the days that we're shooting and the days that we're doing this to make sure that we are giving people actual truth, fact. We give our opinions, but we try to base our opinions on what actually went on, what actually happened, data, stats, historical reference, whatever, right? So we will never be the show that actually comes on here and just says a bunch of stuff just to be saying stuff.
Saying it, yeah. Like that's why the slow real takes over fake debates. Like we not saying nothing just to argue. And like Shy gonna have his opinion on something. I'm gonna have my opinion on something. And we gonna come with the facts, come with the text to it. Make it y'all want a little more attention. We put a little attention, but we're not gonna change like the dynamic of what we're doing. Like I think we were pretty good. So this what comes with that though too. Like you said, when you gotta like fabricate something, and it's like long term wise. Okay, if we start doing that. Short term wise, we might get a couple people, but long term wise, we're now is that what we known for? Then what we gonna do when we die now, or ain't no hot takes to make up no more?
Right, and that's really what it comes down to, right? At the end of the day, we're part of the media, right? Yep. And when you have these platforms, what you say, matters. How you say it, who you talk about matters. All of it matters, right? And so. We will never be that sports show on any level that just says a bunch of stuff just to be saying stuff. Again, SB, you've known me since the U3 days. Even before that, I go back a little bit further when I was doing this show, The Fanalizers. My rule is I will never just say stuff to say stuff. Credibility is everything. And, when certain people speak, you want to know that what they're saying comes from a place of they are being credible, they are being, trying to be unbiased, they're trying to be fair, and it's never this, personal or just getting on here to say a bunch of stuff. That is not.
What's your credibility going? You kind of shot.
That's it.
That matters a lot. And when you try to be a reporter or in the media or anything like that, it does. Your credibility is everything. Your word is everything. So you got to make sure that matters. But there's also the other side of the media that like the regular people don't see, because sometimes you just think the reporters are just in here just saying anything, or what you think is saying is factual. Because I done seen the guy prepare his report. Sometimes he had to write it on his hand. Sometimes he had to write it on paper, then memorize it. The guy who do the Buccaneers. Why am I thinking? I'm forgetting my bro name. Derek Tate, the reporter that he's rooting for Bucks. I watch him go from the sideline reporter for the Windy City Bulls, and then he moved up and then started on NFLs and everything like that. Because I'm thinking about getting back into it or doing by play-by-play because it does help.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk to the chat too before we go on to the next, because Sean, it's finna get spicy in here. Because even if you probably pick the person that I picked, you're not gonna like how I'm finna deliver it. Salute, yo, Goat in the building. The Robin of the channel is here. Shout out, Goat.
What up, Goat?
Junior. Salute, guys. Common Precious is in the building. He said quality takes of everything. Kwame Precious, brother, I ain't gonna lie. I ran into a couple of your TikToks. Brother, you got good content. It's hilarious. he had a so he's doing like the prank videos. He's younger, so he do the prank videos. So he had a video. He was like, "Hey, bro, I'm finna go to the bath. Hey, bro, I'm finna go to the bathroom. Can you watch my book bag?" This man had like a little sound box in there. I think the one I watched, he had like it started moaning. The dude looked crazy and just ran off. I'm like, bro, he a fucking asshole, bro. It was funny. But on to the next one, though, Sean. The big story of this, because it was a Dan Patrick show, right?
Yes.
Dan Patrick show. A caller called in. He definitely had a heavy New York accent. He was asking bigger cultural impact. Allen Iverson.
To clarify, bigger cultural impact on the NBA.
Bigger cultural impact on the NBA. Matter of fact, let me hold on, let me write it in the title, so nobody get confused on NBA. Iverson.
MC Robinson. Have not talked about the Michigan scandal. We could talk about that in a little bit, though, if you want. No problem.
Oh yeah, we could. Shout out MC Robinson in the chat. He is a college head, but we gonna definitely talk about the just because you asked MC Robinson and you always be here, we got you. We're gonna talk about the Michigan standard. Don't forget, when we go to football, we're gonna add that in there. But bigger cultural impact on the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Iverson versus Jordan. Sean, let me go ahead and sit with this, Sean. You ain't gonna like this. I'm gonna take my biasness aside not because of this, because everybody think, oh, and you see who back here. I got him posted right here too.
Mm-hmm.
Allen Iverson, you know this, Sean. Allen Iverson was my first basketball player, my first favorite basketball player. He made me fall in love with the game of basketball. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that bias to the side. Also, I'm gonna take my Chicago Bulls bias to the side. You see Jordan right here. You see this mic. The threes is on. I got the threes over. I got the black cement threes and everything. When it comes to cultural impact on the NBA, it's Allen Iverson is not even close. This is like comparing Allen Iverson's basketball resume to Jordan resume and the GOAT. Like Allen Iverson might be the GOAT of cultural impact. And Jordan is probably like wherever Allen Iverson is ranked as a basketball player, like in the top 30, whatever. Jordan's only cultural impact is gym shoes. He has no impact value at all, Sean. It's literally only shoes. If you don't bring up shoes or that he the GOAT in basketball, you can't bring up nothing cultural about Michael Jordan. Yes, he is great in the game of basketball, Sean. He's the GOAT. Him or LeBron, whatever you want to put, but he's the GOAT, right? But when it comes to cultural impact, if it ain't them shoes, it don't mean nothing. If it ain't because he was winning in basketball, it don't mean nothing. Him being and winning like he was and was a great player he was, lifted his shoe game up. And then once he started becoming the GOAT, his shoes really, really, really became a thing. Because that's why he's able to sit and resell the shoes. That's why he got the 6 rings, the final shot shoes, the shoes where he did this game, the double nickel shoes. Everything that goes for Jordan is just because how great he was as a basketball player. But when we go to Allen Iverson had a cultural impact while we wear sleeves, why we get the tattoos, why you get the braids with the hairs, why everybody can dress the way they want to dress. Allen Iverson brought hip hop to the NBA, making everything cool. So it's by far not close. I love Mike. Mike is the better basketball player. I say it too. But when it comes to cultural impact, what Allen Iverson did for his people, I'm gonna say this. Allen Iverson might be like the Martin Luther King or Malcolm X of the NBA because he took a lot of hits and he crawled so everybody else in the NBA can walk, Sean. That's why all these NBA players got as much freedom as they do. Allen Iverson, everything these players doing now, Allen Iverson took the hit back then. He used to get suspended. The famous, we talking about practice interview. This is how much they hate Allen Iverson because how he was with the culture. The famous practice interview, he was going through that. I believe his friend died. And nobody talk about that part of the interview, but all we know we talk about practice because they hated that he was the culture that he had, the black culture that he had, the hip hop that he had, the thug presence that they thought he had. No, it was just him being himself for the neighborhood. But when it comes to cultural impact, Jordan don't stand a goddamn chance, Sean. I'm trying to tell you. I'm sorry. It's just
no, you're fine. No, you're fine. So I agree with most of what you said, actually.
Okay.
I would, I sent it to a couple of people that I trust their takes on it just because I wanted to hear their opinions on it. And I sent it to my old trainer and who actually played college basketball at Auburn and, and I played ball with in the past or whatever. And He might be a couple years younger than USB. I want to say he might be a couple years younger than you.
Okay.
And he and I we text back and forth about it. And he's an unbiased guy too. Like, he doesn't do the whole bias thing. He is very much, whatever.
Straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward. And he reminded me of something, because I tell you, I was on the Iverson side when I first heard. I was like, cultural impact on the NBA.
My God. Come on.
I was on the Iverson side at first. But he reminded me of something. He said, "Do you remember Allen Iverson's Hall of Fame speech?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I do remember it." And he said he spent like 3 minutes of that speech talking about how much he wanted to be like Mike. Like, and talking about like the first time he saw Mike on the floor, and how Mike, it was like from Chappelle, when you saw like when he saw Rick James for the first time, and he had like his aura and all that stuff, and he's like, he actually had on the Jordans and stuff like that. It was like, it's like how in awe he was of Mike, and how so many guys felt that way about Mike in terms of the NBA. If I was taking just away the NBA, if I took away the NBA part and just the culture, Iverson without question.
Right.
Just the culture, the mix of, like you said, hip hop and basketball, and really merging those two worlds, and also, just that willingness to unapologetically be himself.
Yeah.
One of the things I've always liked about him. I've not had the pleasure of meeting him. I've been in the same, spaces with him, but I never met him or anything like that. And I don't do the whole starstruck thing, to be clear. Like, that's not really my thing. Right. Ever. Never has, never will be. The one person who could have had me starstruck passed away. So I would never be.
Walter Payton?
No, Muhammad Ali. If I had ever met Muhammad Ali, I'd have been a little starstruck. I'm not going to lie. Right. But yeah, and like I said, I've met my share of like stars and celebrities and whatever. I met presidents, what I'm saying? So it's not a big, big thing to me. Yeah. So excuse me. But with AI, the way he talked about Jordan, and how much he wanted to be like him, that was kind of the decider for me that I think the bigger culture on the NBA is Jordan. But if you take away the NBA part and just the cultural impact in general, is Iverson without question. Because again, to me, Jordan's cultural impact outside of the NBA is just the shoes.
It's just shoes, yeah.
Just shoes. That's it.
Now, yeah. But now, see, look, when we talk about cultural impact on the NBA, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's cool. Now, once again, I still think it's the same way on the NBA, because everybody can't play as the ability of Mike. People see what you said about what he said, Allen Iverson. That was Allen Iverson just giving him his kudos because he was a fan of him. People still wear sleeves. People still wear tattoos. We used to cut socks just to wear them as sleeves, and every player in the league used to do it. Now, yeah. Players today, and I hate to say this, Sean, I don't see nobody with their Jordan leg sleeve. I don't. I see people wear.
I mean, it's
we talk about cultural impact.
No, I mean,
I don't see nobody to play like Mike like that. Who really play like Mike?
But I mean, you just think about it for a second, right? And again, what I think about NBA, and I'm just keeping it pure NBA.
Yeah.
How many guys want to wear 23 because of Mike? Right? And I'm not saying that guys didn't want to wear 3 because of AI. D Wade talked about wearing 3 because of AI. Or whatever. But how many guys wanted to wear 23 because of Jordan? And how synonymous the number 23 became with him, and how so many guys wanted to follow that blueprint.
Right.
Yeah. I don't ever want to downplay Allen Iverson's impact on the NBA. I know it's real, right? I know it was real. I saw it. And because he's a guy, he's a couple years older than me. But, again, at the end of the day, when I think about the number of guys who said, I want to be like Mike. They knew they couldn't be Mike. They wanted to be like Mike.
That's not what the culture though, Sean. That's just him because he's great at basketball.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. NBA, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. NBA, that everybody was chasing him. When you talk about LeBron and people, LeBron talk about chasing that ghost. The ghost he's talking about is Michael Jordan. Like, you know, it's that's what I mean. And again, if you take away just NBA, if you just say bigger cultural impact without the NBA, it's AI without question for me. It's just because of the NBA identifier that I give the edge to Jordan.
Oh, no, that's understandable. Hold on, let's see the chat going crazy on this. Let's see what the chat's saying. Ralph said, Allen Iverson had the woman interest in basketball. My sister was a huge basketball fan because of Allen. She filled out rolling up with Allen Iverson newspaper articles on the wall. Shout out AI. She joined the ball team because of Allen Iverson. She said, "Who are y'all top 5 all time again? NBA. My top 5 is no order: Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Duncan. Who your 5, Sean?"
Mine is Kareem, Jordan, LeBron, Bill Russell, and Tim Duncan.
No respect. Sturdy said accessory is a measurement of influence. Yes, if you think somebody dressed and looked just like how they're play, that's influence. What do you think? Soulja Boy used to have everybody wearing big shirts and big jeans and do a crank that Soulja Boy. That's influence. People wearing the Allen Iverson, the fishbone braids. It's not called fishbone braids no more. They call it the Iverson braids. That's influence. The ball, if you hoop, they're gonna say you got a ball head like Jordan. That's influence. Come on, Sturdy. Stop acting like you don't know what influence means, brother. If somebody wearing accessories because another guy wears the accessories, Sturdy, that's influence. Allen Iverson, people wearing the tattoos, the people wearing what they want to wear in the pregame. Allen Iverson took the bow in the back so everybody can wear what they want to wear. People forget you have to wear suit and tie every game. Don't act like y'all ain't forget. That's why I'm giving it to Iverson, because Jordan real measurement. Now we want to add the NBA to it, Sean. Is that everybody who talks about Jordan was a fan of Jordan. They grew up on Jordan. Like I grew up on Kobe, LeBron, and AI. So I'm a fan of them. I held them in high praise. But now we want to add the NBA. I'm going to keep it a buck. Besides shoes and him being in a GOAT debate, and he's like the greatest of all time, what real impact, cultural impact do we have? I'm saying even NBA, it's just everything we talk about Mike right now is just the GOAT debate. Nothing else. Mainly.
No,
so
I mean,
who's GOAT debate?
No, I mean, but listen, I mean, again, this is why I always talk about like the delineator being NBA, right? I think there were guys that wanted to be like AI who never picked up a basketball in their life.
That's true.
Right? It wasn't guys trying to be like Jordan who never picked up a ball in their life.
Right.
That's why I use the NBA. And when the guy asked the question, he asked who had the bigger NBA cultural impact on the NBA. That's why I said it was. That's why. And again, when I was thinking about it, because initially my mind was like, "Oh, it's Iverson without question." But then again, thinking about it from the perspective of NBA, and again, I know this is before some people's time, so y'all have to forgive me. But Gatorade did a whole campaign around "Be Like Mike,"
right?
And jingle
and a movie like Mike.
Yeah, had a movie like Mike. You know what I mean? So it was a real thing. Now again, because of his lack of willingness to get involved in certain things in terms of politics, social issues and stuff, that's a whole different conversation. I think again, we're talking about just guys coming up who were using him as, I want to be like him. Even you couldn't be exactly like him. I want to be him. And I'm not saying guys didn't want to be AI. I'm saying it was basketball play. That's why I say from a cultural impact minus basketball, it's Iverson to me without question.
Okay.
But the NBA thing is why I give the edge to Jordan. And honestly, I don't think there's a wrong answer one way or another.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think you could argue it either way.
But I don't think it's close, but let's understand.
Yeah, but again, and again, I think too, a lot of it depends on what age you came up in, stuff like that. Because again, I was thinking about Iverson from the impact of, it was guys trying to get braids and tattoos. And I remember coaching kids in AAU who, one kid in particular, he wore number 3, he had braids,
he had the sleeve on, didn't he?
He wanted to be Chuck. like he wanted to be, if y'all don't know, Allen Iverson's nickname is Bubba Chuck. He wanted to be Chuck. Like that was his actual name was Chuck. So he wanted to be Bubba Chuck. You know what I mean?
When I had dreads. When I comb out the dreads, the first thing I told my girl, I'm getting the Iversons. And I had the Iversons. Now we having this conversation. I was gonna get the twist. I'm gonna get the Iversons again now. Now I'm gonna wear a headband next show. But the last question before we got to move on to other things in the show.
Absolutely.
As SB Sturdy said, SB, you underrated MJ's influence on the business of basketball as well. I'm not underestimating this influence on the business of basketball because half of Jordan influenced the business of basketball because he was getting effed over and he made sure he got paid the right way, and him helping players get paid the right way because he's used his GOAT status, power to make the Bulls pay him what he owed, and they move things up, and then also he popularized basketball more globally because he was so great at basketball that the TV ratings and the money start going in. That's the only that's half of the thing. And the other half of the business of basketball is his shoes. And I said that already. GOAT debate shoes. That's the only thing he got. Allen Iverson has way more things culturally. Now, if I'm saying that Allen Iverson is a better player than Jordan, heck he not. But I just think Bubba Chuck got it. But let us know what you guys think about that in the chat. Make sure you guys comment. Make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys subscribe. Or if you guys on the TikTok too, make sure you guys like up, spam of the likes. And if you want to come through on the YouTube, we live on the YouTube link in the bio. But on to the next part of the show. Russell Westbrook has requested. And sorry, Blue Balton, y'all. I see y'all comments. Well, we can come back and talk about that again at the end. We'll come back because we got to talk about the college thing too. I'm gonna have to find a comment. So I got y'all. Anybody else comment? But let me know, comment and leave a comment below on the video. Who do you got with a bigger impact, cultural impact, MJ or Allen Iverson? Leave a comment at the bottom of the video and let us know whose side you pick. SB and Sean, let us know why. But okay. Back to the show. Russell Westbrook has requested to come off the bench to help the Clippers' first unit establish some continuity. Sean, my first thought when I heard this was shout out Russell Westbrook for always being a W teammate. He always get this flack for his bad turnovers and everything like that, which is cool. But when you get nobody ever questioned Russell Westbrook as a teammate. I never heard one person, maybe besides Kevin Durant, but he be slick shots where he just say like, I take these guys over Russ, but he never really talked bad about Russ. You might complain about his play sometimes, but nobody ever talked about Russ, the teammate. For him to do this is great. My problem is that I don't think he's the one that needs to come off the bench. I think it should be James Harden because now you got too many guys who just want to ISO score in the starting lineup, and Russ just seeing the writing on the wall because guess what? When everything goes in the flames, after the Harden wave goes down from him asking for a trade, they're going to blame Russell Westbrook. So I think Russell Westbrook doing the right thing, getting out the line of fire, and shout out Russell Westbrook being a W teammate.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Russell Westbrook is most people have never said he was a bad teammate. Most people say he's a great teammate. And I've heard a lot of guys say he's the best teammate that they've ever had. I've heard Steven Adams say it. I've heard other guys talk about him as a teammate. It didn't come as a surprise. To be honest with you, SB, he obviously came off the bench, his last year with the Lakers. And he embraced it. And to me, I always tell people, man, too many guys make too much about who starts. It ain't about who starts, it's about who finishes.
Finish the game.
About who finishes. If you're in that finishing lineup, that says more to me than who starts.
Correct.
So, and we know Russell Westbrook will likely be in the finishing lineup for the Clippers.
But he should be.
As he should. The Harden trade has not, worked out well so far in terms of the W's. Yes. They haven't come yet. We'll see. Anytime you make an acquisition like that, it's always a process to integrate. It's going to take time. That's why I tell people all the time, you cannot go crazy or nuts about, it not working out immediately well. Let's see where they are in January. Give it a couple months. Let's see where they are. And again, I think everybody knows the Clippers are likely a playoff team unless something crazy happens. Let's see where they are. But shout out again, like you said, to Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
Never question him as a teammate. Never question his desire to win. And it takes to win, particularly at this point in his career. And I think it'll be better for the Clippers. But again, it ain't about who starts; it's about who finishes, and he'll be in the finishing lineup.
Yeah, and for me, it's definitely not about like who starts. Like I said, Russell Westbrook is doing a good job. I think he can help those guys on the second unit too. And because I think when Westbrook was being in that start lineup, he helped them push the pace better, and then he helped getting Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in better spots to get the ball. And his aggressiveness to attack the paint could get the shooters open too. But now when you add a guy like Harden who want to dribble, do a step back and pull, which Harden showed his ability to make the passes when he needs to, but I don't know if that's his mindset right now. And that's my only problem that I'm really questioning. Like, I wasn't mad at the Clippers for making the Harden trade. I think it was a bad fit. But for what they got him for, you got to kind of make that trade, and then you got to work and see what happens in the future. But that I don't that's why I'm like that. I don't know. Shout out Russ for doing that, though. Shout out Russ for doing that. On to the next one. Draymond Green was suspended 5 games for choking Gobert. Steve Kerr believes Draymond Green went too far. 5 games was a shocker to me. Well, yes and no, but I think you maybe should have got 2. Sean, I'm kind of on the fence of I didn't want Draymond Green suspended. I'm gonna just be honest with that, because I think you guys trying to push this in-season tournament as the intensity of the in-season tournament, because it was the in-season tournament game. I believe the trophy was on the court. I have to go back and check the video where he choked. I think I've seen it a couple times, but the trophy was on the court.
Was.
So he defended his teammate, which as you should, and obviously it's been a lot of talks between the Timberwolves and the Warriors, which I want this matchup in the first round, Sean. I feel like they will be taking this away from me as a fan if I don't get this first round matchup between these two teams, because there's been a lot of talking, and I actually think the Timberwolves might can take the Warriors out. So I just think the NBA should have pushed this, the intensity of the in-season tournament game. They're trying to bring the value up to it. I think they should have pushed that, because you want players to take it seriously. They taking it serious. Now you got rivalries back. Now you want to push that. It's a rivalry between these guys. Draymond did a little extra on the choke, 100% for sure, but no hands was really thrown. He protected Clay because he thought Clay was going to get attacked, and I think you should push it as that. I think Steve Kerr is capping now, because at first he was all defending Draymond Green. Now he's want to double back and say, I believe Draymond Green went too far. What was your initial thoughts on this situation, and do you think 5 games was too much? For me, I'm going to say no. And shout out Go James Kingdom in the chat. Salute. And then I think Chilltown was in the TikTok live. Salute Chilltown too. Chilltown, you got to pull up for an episode, brother.
Yeah, salute Chilltown, salute Go James. Well, let me say James. This. Let me say this, SB, real quick. Do you remember the Kevin Hart story when he went home with the note from the teacher, and his mom told him what he's supposed to say to the teacher? Mm-hmm. And he was only supposed to say 2 cuss words, and he said 76.
Yep, that's okay. Draymond Green.
Yeah, what Draymond Green did was the equivalent. He was supposed to say 2 cuss words, and he said 76.
Hey, look, I just want you to defend your teammate.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the reality in all seriousness, right? Draymond Green had to be suspended. 5 games, yes, he had to be suspended 5 games. And I'll tell you why. It's because Draymond Green has a history of taking things way too far. Draymond Green stepped on Domantas Sabonis' chest when Domantas Sabonis was on the floor in the playoffs last year.
Sean, hold on, before you go, did you see what went viral? They did a compilation of all his dirty plays and it's just been going viral.
Yes,
he's wilding.
Yes, you know, Draymond Green kicked Steven Adams in the nuts multiple times in that Oklahoma City series. That and I ain't even scratched the surface, right? So so you know who hands out punishment is Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars is responsible for that. Joe Dumars and Draymond Green are very close because of the Michigan ties. Very close. So for Joe Dumars to come down on Draymond Green the way he did, what it tells me is they are not playing with Draymond Green anymore.
Yeah.
It was nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a problem. I will tell people all the time, if you played on a team, you played team sports, as I had the pleasure of doing for a lot of my life, you defend your teammate, right?
Yep.
You defend your teammate. But here's where it went too far. You not only got him in a headlock, you drag him multiple feet in that same position. You could have seriously injured or hurt Rudy Gobert more than you really realize.
Like what Joker did to Morris twin.
Right. So it's when you do that type of stuff, that's where it goes too far. Okay. 2 cuss words. All right. 76, you went too far. All right.
Yeah.
You went too far. So he deserved to be suspended, right?
So you think he only got suspended because of his history? So what if it was like a Wiggins who did that? You think they probably would have let it slide? Wiggins would have did it because Wiggins don't really got a history.
Wiggins don't have a history. Wiggins don't have a history, and I think Wiggins probably might have been suspended a game, but it wouldn't have been 5 games.
What you think about what? What you think about what GKW said right here? I want this because it's a running narrative that every time Curry don't play, he purposely don't play.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you want to play. At the end of the day, you want to play with your boy. But like I said, I think at the end of the day, he went too far. Defend your teammate, but don't take it too far. There's a line, don't cross the line, and he crossed the line.
Go ask, bro. If Serge Ibaka got 3 games for punching and choking the player, Draymond should have just got 2. What you think about that, Sean?
Well, I mean, again, Serge Ibaka does not have the same history that Draymond Green has. Like it or not, y'all, when you have a history of stuff, and I can name some guys, I can name a guy that played for the Detroit Lions by the name of Ndamukong Suh that had a history of doing stuff.
Doing dirty things.
So when Ndamukong Suh got suspended or got fined heavily, it wasn't because of what he did. It's because of the repeated behavior. That's the issue. It's when you repeat the behavior, when you're constantly doing stuff, the punishment is always going to be harder. That is the nature of the beast.
Yep, you're right about that. Let me know what you guys think about that. How many games Draymond Green should have been suspended? Let us know in the chat. If you guys watch anyone, let me know. Sean, I gotta bring this topic up because I seen this while I was preparing for the show. As I'm watching my Bulls lose 30-18 in another in-season tournament game to the Orlando Magic, make it 32-18 as Jonathan Isaac dunks the ball. Zach LaVine trade rumor has been getting hot. Now the openness for both sides that want to be traded. Now they say Zach going around the Bulls, allegedly. Zach going around the Bulls place disgruntled. He ain't really been the same. Now it's like he's trying to force his way out of Chicago as quick as possible. When I first heard that, I pushed off because I heard that earlier today. I'm like, no, because it's just saying it's been like a running thing with him right now, ever since they came out. Now, when I heard this report came out, Zach LaVine trade rumors that he want the Lakers, the Heat, and the 76ers are his preferred destinations. Now, once I start hearing that you got preferred destinations where you want to go, now I think he's trying to force himself. And it's like you said, it's a lot of people who you can't really necessarily trade for right now. So maybe trying to push the issue early, maybe you can force yourself to where you want to go. But for the Chicago Bulls, bro, you're under – I think Zach's problem that he don't understand is that he just signed a max contract. So it's not like where you can negotiate where you want to go, because if you trade me here, I will leave. No, wherever you go, you're going to stay there, Zach LaVine. I don't think the Lakers really have a package that we want for Zach, unless you got to add another team. I don't think the Heat got it unless you add another team. I don't think the 76ers got it unless you add another team. So what do you think about like the alleged room reports that he's been disgruntled around there, the Bulls or camp, which I don't believe. Zach never really comes off like that, but you never really know when somebody trying to get traded. And then what you think about his preferred destinations between the Lakers, Heat, and the 76ers?
Well, I mean, I would say the Heat and the Sixers make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Obviously. I think if I were ranking them, I would say Sixers, Heat, Lakers.
Yeah.
If I were ranking them. If I were him, I'd want to get to the Sixers. Just because I think, again, with the budding star that Tyrese Maxey's become, and obviously playing with the MVP and Joel Embiid. That's a nice threesome to build around.
Yep.
But again, like you said, it's which teams can put together the best package. I don't think it'll be a direct trade. I think it's going to be, again, a little bit like the Dame Lillard trade, where it's going to take a third team, maybe even a fourth team to facilitate the Bulls what they want. The other thing, if I'm the Bulls, and I know this may sound crazy, if I'm the Bulls and I'm trading Zach LaVine, I'm tearing it all the way down.
Yes, you have to.
I'm trying to move Vucevic, I'm trying to move Caruso, and I'm trying to move DeMar DeRozan. The only player that I will not trade right now is Patrick Williams if I'm the Bulls.
He can go too, honestly. If we we find a way to get like a Keegan Murray, which I doubt, but if we get Keegan Murray, Patrick Williams gone.
Yeah, well, the issue is again, I don't know what a team is giving up for Patrick Williams, knowing that I think he's a restricted free agent after this season.
Yes, he's restricted. Yeah.
So, if you're the Bulls, do you want to trade him knowing that you got a chance to match any offer that a team makes him on the open market? And again, I don't know what a team's going to offer him. I know he's a really good player. I think he's still got, some potential to scratch. But given, the games missed and the injury, history thus far in his career, I just don't know, what team is going to offer him a max contract this offseason, given especially the new kind of restrictive rules in the CBA in terms of, to pay guys. And again, I said on the stream Tuesday, and I still stand firm on this. If I were Zach LaVine, I would be asking to go to Sacramento, because again, I think he's a better fit with Fox and Sabonis long term, and they're all around the same age.
If we could get this, I'm begging for the Sacramento trade because Sacramento want them, and Sacramento has the young pieces to give the Bulls what they need for a rebuild. But I don't know if the Kings will give up Keegan Murray.
And if I'm the Kings, I don't want to give up Keegan Murray.
But you might have to.
I don't know if you have to, though. That's the thing. I don't know if you have to. Because, again, I think if you get a third team involved and you're willing to move, say, Davion Mitchell.
I'll take Davion Mitchell.
You're willing to move Chris Duarte and maybe one of your other young pieces. Along
Harrison
with
Barnes is going to be in there too.
Well, Harrison Barnes had to be in there just because of the salary to make the salaries work. I think if you're Sacramento and you're saying, "Hey, we think we got a real chance to compete here in the West," and you think Zach LaVine, along with Fox and Sabonis and Keegan, that you think you can win with that foursome, I certainly would. I certainly would do it. Again, I would not trade Keegan. Because I'm super high on Keegan Murray. I picked Keegan Murray as our most improved player pick for this year.
Over Maxey and Halliburton?
No, when we did our season.
In the beginning. Oh yeah, you right. Beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Did I make a thing for that? Let me see. I think I did.
You did.
Let me see. Nope, that's not it. Oh, Sean Awards, boom, right here.
Yeah.
Let me move this real quick, and then let me put us here and move that banner. Boom. Nope, not that banner. Okay, give me a second. We are working hard here. Okay, boom. Yep, you did put Keegan Murray. Boom.
Yeah.
Right on. Luka, how you? We didn't really review it so far, early season, but you feeling good about what you picked so far?
Yeah, the only thing I'm hating is that Cam Thomas has been starting. He was coming off the bench earlier in the season, so he's back. I think he's back coming off the bench now because they're healthy again. So I still, think Cam Thomas got a chance to win Six-Foot Man of the Year. Even though again, Quigley and some other guys are playing real well. But yeah, I still like my pick so far. It's early, but I still like my pick so far.
Sure, bro. Salute, P. Jack. What's going on, cousin? I'm gonna say something to the chat for our show, man. Miami to LaVine. LaVine to Miami is tough, but depends on what they're giving up. Like and share. Shout out, Nick. LaVine to the Kings. Yes. The reason why I'm gonna tell you why I want Keegan, and then I think Keegan should want out if they get Zach LaVine. And like Go said, like everybody, let me go to my awards. Let me see, because I forgot what I picked too, Sean. Let me see. Where is SB awards? Okay. I picked Jason Tatum, Victor Wembanyama, Evan Mobley, Malik Monk, Mike Malone, Tyrese Halliburton. I'm feeling pretty good about what I picked. Only thing that's kind of might mess up my MIP depending on like how they value Tyrese Maxey most improved. I still think Tyrese Halliburton is most improved, but some people feel like since he made an All-Star, can he really win most improved? But
yeah, that's how I feel because I think once you make an All-Star team, I think it's hard for you to make most improved,
unless it's like nobody else in the conversation.
Yeah, because like I didn't like when Ja won most improved because I was like he was an All-Star the year before. Like, is he really the most improved player?
But that's why I think he could get it. But you know, Ja's numbers did go up substantially. But
they went up.
He was an All-Star though.
Yeah, but he was an All-Star the year before, is what I'm saying. So I didn't think. I thought to me he should have been more in the MVP conversation than most improved conversation.
Oh well, this is a good question about PJ. He asked, "Why didn't we do the most clutch player?" I forgot, but that one kind of crazy though, because you don't really know what they'll do. But if we had to pick. I'm taking Luka. If you had to pick, I think the Mavericks will have a lot of close games this year, and Luka going pretty much if they're in close games, he gonna seal the deal. So I think the safe pick for me is to pick Luka.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
because that's like because you got to pick off who gonna be in more like close games this year. Because I think the Kings gonna be taking off, but. Before we move on to the next thing, I was saying the reason why I was saying the Keegan Murray should want out if Zach LaVine, because obviously he said Fox might win it again. It's the possibility because Fox might win it again. The reason why I was saying that if I'm Keegan Murray, I might would have won out because Keegan Murray does a lot of things offensively and defensively.
Sure.
But I think you bringing a guy like Zach LaVine will stun his growth because like with Sabonis and Fox, he's like the third option. He fits in. He gets his buckets here, and there. But now if you add Zach LaVine, now he goes from the third option where he's not really getting shots off like his dribble catch. Is going to be pretty much he's going to be a 3-and-D guy. And I think that's going to stun his growth. So for the development of Keegan Murray, I would want to get up out of there. Like you said, the Kings should be high on him. But I don't know if they going, like you said, we'll get rid of him. Because I think if Keegan Murray comes to the Bulls within the next 2-3 years, he'll be an all-star. To me, I think he's going to take off and be one of those guys. That's how high praise I have for Keegan Murray. And Sean, I feel like if we do any trades with Sacramento Kings for Zach, Keegan Murray has to be in the Bulls jersey and Davion Mitchell. We'll take the Harrison Barnes. That's why I said I would want another team to come in so maybe they can go get a good wing defender, a 3-and-D guy somewhere else to fit the mold, because that's what all you're going to need now is just defenders, and you will be losing a lot of defense. And I don't think they want Harrison. I don't think they want Harrison Barnes anymore. Yeah. So, yeah. Sean, now before we switch over to the gridiron, let the guys know what you think about that. If you were to trade Zach LaVine, what do you think is the best Zach LaVine trade? Comment in the chat. And also leave a comment under the video. And make sure you guys like and share.
Yeah, I'm sorry, real quick. Don't forget the sponsor. Shout out to Swift.
Oh, yeah, shout out Swift Energy, man. If you want to get some Swift Energy, go to swiftenergy.com. Use code RTOfD. Get 20% off your order every time you order. Shout out Sean for remembering the sponsor. It's right there up top. It's W, Sean. Before we switch over, by the way, Sean, to the gridiron, how have you been? Before we get to obviously, this is the sad side. This is the sad side of football. And Sean, I went out today. Yeah, look, you can barely see it, but I had a little football post. I might have to put it to show us some love, but I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Mike probably get moved once I get the Derrick Rose poster, whatever I find it. I found one.
You better not move Mike for the Derrick Rose poster.
I'm moving Mike.
You leave Mike exactly where he is.
I might put like Mike over here with the Bulls. Like you might just see like a little bit of Mike.
You put Derrick Rose over there with the Bulls. Okay, that man got 5 MVPs for y'all. You put Derrick Rose to the left.
I gotta give the MVP I seen who lifted the trophy up when I was understanding what was going on.
Right, yeah, but Jordan lifted up the real trophy, the main trophy is what.
I mean, that's true, man. But that's why the Bulls need to make these trades. We need to get back to Jordan. But to the football, Bengals star quarterback Joe Burrow is out for this season. He has a torn ligament in his wrist. And Sean, I was laughing at that story that you sent me about false reports. She was fabricating because last night I was we do it like a Madden league. So I was sitting there playing my Madden game. So we in there talking. One of my boys joined who I had to play. He said, "Bro, did you hear about Joe Burrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, I heard he got hurt." He was like, "Yeah, they talking about his thumb might need to get amputated." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I have to go look and see how he got hurt. I'm like, "No, I don't. I think that's a false story, bro." But this is what it comes when people be fabricating things for extra clicks or shock values and views. Like, yeah, you might go get that little shock value for that moment. And you might have somebody just be like, "Oh yeah, his thumb might get amputated." Now I'm looking at my boy like, "You sound like a damn dumbass." No offense to my boy, shout out JD, but you sound like a dumbass because you believe the story, and that's then now JD gonna go back and looking like, "All right, I'm not never looking at none on this site again because now I lost their credibility." But what was your besides he's not gonna get his thumb amputated? Anybody want to know? But what was your initial reaction to seeing Joe Burrow hurt? Because I know me and you both was begging. I don't know if you was begging him too just to sit Joe Burrow out the year once he had got hurt early, like 2 times, or was you like still play him?
Yeah, I mean, my thing was, don't play him until he's 100% healthy with the calf injury, because you just invested a lot of money in him because you just signed him to a huge extension. Listen, SB, when quarterbacks get hurt for me, I tend not to lose my mind because I obviously remember the era where it wasn't all about the quarterbacks.
It wasn't.
It's not all. It's a football team. It's 53 guys on a roster, right? At the end of the day, and everybody's going crazy and sad about Joe Burrow and blah blah blah, yada yada yada, whatever. I like Joe Burrow, but again, he's a football player. There wasn't the same level of sadness earlier this week when Deshaun Watson was out for the season.
And we got to talk about that too.
And we can combine these two stories or whatever if we want. But
yeah. Okay, so but then before you go again, Deshaun Watson have season-ending shoulder surgery, and that was tough.
Now, let me say this to you, SB, real quick. I'm gonna say these names, and I want you to tell me what these names have in common.
Okay.
Earl Morrell.
You said who? Say it again.
Earl Morrell.
Okay.
Jeff Hostetler. Frank Wright. Nick Foles.
They all white, right?
Yeah. Well, of course.
I mean, okay. Well, I'm on the right track. It's football related. That's what you asked me, right?
Yeah.
My best guess is that somebody was injured ahead of him, and then they came in and did something great as a backup.
They were backup quarterbacks who all.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I was the injury thing. I'm thinking injuries.
They're all backup quarterbacks who came in and led their teams to playoff wins, and in a couple cases led their teams to Super Bowls.
Okay.
All right. So, your backup quarterback matters.
Yes, it does.
Your backup quarterback matters. As many quarterback injuries as have happened this year, the backup quarterback matters. And if you don't have one,
you're cooked.
Now, that said, the Bengals and the Browns can take a note from some of these other teams. Lean on your running game. The Browns especially lean on your defense because you got a really good defense.
Yep.
And you can still go on a run. Now, you may not necessarily win a Super Bowl, but you can still go on a run. And lean on what you do best. The Bengals lean on Joe Mixon. He's still a very good running back. Your defense is okay. Lean on your running game. Play ball control. Don't try to get in the shootouts. That's it. Like, the whole idea is understand what you are, where you are, and lean into that. When the Eagles won a Super Bowl, they leaned into what they were, right? Nick Foles came in. They understood what they were. They didn't ask him to go out and save the team. Everybody stepped their game up. They won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. And so at the end of the day, the season's not over. It's not lost. If you're still in the playoff hunt, you're still in the playoff hunt. But
the season might be a little over because what is the playoff hope? What is the playoff hopes for these teams?
Well, you got to think about it, right? So the 7th seed in the AFC has 5 wins right now. Excuse me. The Browns have 6 wins, I believe, and the Bengals are 500. So at 5-5. So you're not out of it. But look, the part of this is football. You got to adjust. You got to make adjustments.
Now look, see with this team right here, I think they're done because their defense is not like this guy's right here defense where I think they could run. They lost Watson and Chubb. That sucks.
Yeah, it stinks. No, it absolutely stinks. And it also stinks that they had Josh Dobbs on their team and they let him go. They traded him. And look what he's doing now, what he did in Arizona, and now look what he's doing in Minnesota. So I think it does, it stinks, that they lost their starting quarterback. But again, it's 53 men on a roster for a reason. You have to lean into the rest of the guys on the team. You're not asking your backup quarterback to come in and be Joe Burrow or Deshaun Watson. They have to be themselves, and the rest of your team has to step up. If you can't win games with a backup quarterback, that's because you ain't built a good team.
I respect that. So, I mean, it depends on who the backup quarterback is. So some night could just be just bad, but majority of it, I think if you had to put on a 100% ratio, what you thinking, like 70% of the time, 80% you should win a game?
I mean, I think obviously it depends on the matchup, but I mean, again, is lean into what you do. The Browns' job at this point is you're gonna win. You got to win some football games ugly.
Yeah,
they can still run the football.
Yeah,
right. They can still run the football. You play ball control. You play really good defense. You're not trying to win the game in the first quarter. You're trying to manage the game, keep yourself in the game, give yourself a chance late in the game to win. You win a game if the score is 9-6 and you got 9, you won the game.
You won the game at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. So that's it. So your job is to lean into what you do well. The rest of the guys step their game up and let's go. Because the season's not lost.
Now, Sean, for me personally, I think, like I said, the Bengals season's lost. So my playoff hopes for the Bengals are done. I think the Browns still have a chance, but the problem with this team, with these two teams, Sean, we was arguing about this being the toughest division in football. Yes. Now I'm looking at this, okay, because they got everything set up here. Look at this division. Try to put my post in my post. Look at this division. You got the Steelers, the Browns, the Ravens, the Bengals.
Okay.
I think because of this division so tight, they're going to X out because the Steelers, even though people don't like how Kenny Pickett plays or you question the offensive coordinator, their defense is still good. They always keep them in games. The Browns, at least without a quarterback, I didn't see them win games, but they back up and they keep them in games. And the Ravens might now be the favorites to win a division. So I think if their division wasn't so tight, I think they have a chance. So I have a 0% chance on their hope. I even think they might even just plummet it down and just rock on out. And in the season, I think how many games they got? How many games they won so far?
Who, Bengals?
Bengals
are 5-5.
5-5. I'll just shoot the rest of the season away. Lose every year game. Try to get it close because I believe they have their pick. Get it closer to a top tier pick. Then try to add something on top. Maybe at that pick, T. Higgins and something else. Get in the top 2. Get Marvin Harrison Jr. And then you rock out again. You got another dynamic duo in Bengals. Sometimes you got to think for the future. Joe Burrow is your quarterback. His thumb ain't getting amputated, so he can still do his job next season.
Right.
Do that. Browns, I don't think they can win a bowl without Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb, but you're still a competitive team. I still think you push for the playoffs because the defense is just that good. And I think the Browns will surprise a lot of teams maybe as a wild card and could upset a certain team. Depends on who they play. For me. Yeah. But on to the next one. Bills.
This is gonna be quick, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be real quick. And we get right to our picks. It was while I do that, we got it's pick. No, we doing recap right today. Friday.
No, it's picks.
Oh, picks. Okay, picks is week 11 picks, right?
Yes, week 11. Yes.
Okay, cool. Let me go and write 11 right here because what the cap that we heard right here, we can take our time. Bills offensive coordinator is not worried by the interception issues from quarterback Josh Allen. He was quoted saying, "Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league." Sean, my first thoughts from hearing this is: are you on drugs, or are you medicated, or do you need help? Do you need somebody to talk to? It's cool to rock with your boy. Sometimes, Sean, it was a saying that was told to me that the first step to being better is to understand what's really going on. I think I said it wrong, but you know what the saying is acceptance when you're wrong, because or accountability,
Sure.
just lie. Like, you my boy, especially when it comes to sports, you be cooking up. I'm gonna rock with you, but I ain't gonna blatantly just lie and just be like, yeah, you can say any stat from any year. Sean gonna tell you what stat is this. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. You can just say, yeah, he could have easily just said, all right, we're gonna prove as a team. Josh Allen is one of the top. He's one of the top quarterback in this league, one of the best quarterbacks in this league. We're gonna improve and we're gonna find ways to make him better to not turn over the ball. Simple. But to say you're not worried about his interception issue, that's part of the reason why y'all lose all the time. He don't take care of the ball. Then to call him the best quarterback in the league, Sean, I'm going to be honest. I don't even know if he's better than CJ Stroud right now. Right, playing right now. I can't even 100% tell if he's better than CJ Stroud right now. So, Mr. Offensive Coordinator Brady, you're wrong.
This is all I have to say about the situation.
Cap. So if you guys listen to it, then they can't see cap.
In the illustrious words of Jawan Lewis, aka True the King, we can move on.
Here's the kicker, Cap.
Yeah.
It was time of wrong one. It is time of the show. It is SB and Sean's pick of the weeks. And Sean, like I said, we were talking earlier about how I should be a gambling man, and I should start taking that chance on stuff. I'm gonna start doing that. Hold on, before we do that, can I find the comment? MC Robinson, if I can't find a comment in time, but MC, okay. Yeah, answer that before we go on our picks. Sean, talk about the Michigan scandal update.
Right. So basically, the Michigan scandal update is Jim Harbaugh accepted the suspension, the 3-game suspension from the Big Ten. This story is far from over, to be very honest. I think there's a lot more evidence out there about what Michigan did. And while, again, this is not about Jim Harbaugh, what Jim Harbaugh specifically did, because there's a good chance he didn't know that it was going on to this level. At the end of the day, you're the head coach. You have oversight over your program. And the expectation is when something happens in your program, you have to answer for it. Yeah, yep. It's simple as that.
It's like when you have kids. Like, I got 2 kids. Anything my kids do, I need to know what's going on, right? Or I'm responsible for it. Now all of a sudden, if my daughter in here done bust a head, knock on wood, and failed must it's my fault because I didn't know what my kids doing all the time. Or she didn't touch something she's supposed to be touching, But that comes with it. Like, not to say that like Jim Harbaugh's their dad, but like you have to be controlled. It's your team. You have owner. You run the show, so you have to look out and see what was going on.
Right. That's crazy. So my prediction is obviously he's not coaching tomorrow against Maryland. He's not coaching against Ohio State next week, which is obviously a big game And the winner of that game, the loser of that game may very well fall out of the college football playoff because both teams are currently top 4 in the CFP. But I also predict that Jim Harbaugh will not be the head coach of Michigan in 2024. I think he's gone.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I don't see him being the coach of the team. Just close the door, mama. Little mama, like, hold on. Yeah, then I came back in the house. We're seeing the lights. They're a little excited. Yeah, they're a little excited. They just see the Christmas light show. But yeah, I think with too many NFL offers on the table, and then you know how it usually be with a scandal, because now it's like this was gonna make me mad because now say if Michigan wins, some come out more. They're gonna strip them from the title, then strip the program, then they're gonna be able to be banned for tournaments in the future. Now all of a sudden, now the program gonna be bad again. Jim Harbaugh gonna leave, get an NFL job, and Michigan gonna be left to crumble. I hate that. Then also the part I hate, if you kind of know that it might be a possibility. Say if at the end of the day, the max they knew was just these 3 games gonna be the max. No matter what else come out, we're gonna leave it alone. But now if you know that like it's a possibility you could go further, I think Michigan just should be out the way there. Because take them out the way for this year, give another team a chance who can actually win and play fair. And then they win a title, they win a title. Because that's not gonna be fair for a team that could have possibly made it. And now that's all people gonna talk about. Well, they should have just put the other team in. They really had a chance. So I don't know. But let's go. I'm ready for the picks. And we got how many key games? We said 2 key games this week.
2 key games this week. Obviously, the Thursday night game, Bengals Ravens would have been a key game, but that was last night. So we're not talking about that as a key game. So we're gonna get to the regular games, and then we'll talk about the 2 key games in a second. So first game, Bears at Lions. Justin Fields returning this week more than likely.
Oh, that ain't gonna save them. I'm taking the Lions. I mean, I should go with my prediction and pick the Bears so they win the win, but I gotta try to win. So I'm taking the Lions. The Lions I'm gonna keep it a buck. Lions might win by 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Lions by 17. That's the easy one for me.
That's easy.
Next game, Chargers at the Packers.
Chargers. Easy. Chargers by double digits.
You know what scares me about this game?
What? Please don't say it.
No, I'm just gonna be real. You know what scares me about this game? Which Chargers defense is gonna show up?
I don't know, Sean. Every week, bro, I be throwing stuff watching them, bro. I ain't gonna even hold you. I'm literally like one more bad game, but I'm not watching them for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sometimes you got to just shut it down.
Shut it down.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Take the Packers.
No, I'm taking the Chargers as well, but
don't worry, they're gonna sell. Is we at home or we at we going?
No, it's in Lambeau. In Lambeau.
Oh God. We might. I don't know. We might. We'll see how it go. What's next?
Yeah, so Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers by 6.
I'm tired of seeing my team with just talent on paper, but they be trash on the court in the field because the Bulls getting their head pushed to, If this ain't an example, I'm sorry, so I'm just looking at this depressed. If this ain't an example that we need to blow it up, this is a young team that's still in the process of rebuilding, but they got talent with Paolo. So now they like knowing what direction they're going. They still in the rebuild process and they blowing us out.
Yeah.
Blow it up, bro. Blow the team up, bro. It's time. Yeah.
It's only gonna get worse because y'all play the Heat tomorrow night.
I hope the Heat beat us by 50.
Yeah. 7-game win streak by the Heat anyway, currently. Yeah. Next game, Raiders at Dolphins.
Dolphins. I don't care how hot the Raiders is.
Yeah, the Raiders have won 2 in a row, won 2 close games. They just don't score enough points for me. This one's an easy one. So I'm taking the Dolphins by 13.
Okay. If the Raiders could score more points, then I could probably give them a chance because they is hot right now.
Yeah. But they are playing better. Definitely playing more loose under interim coach Antonio Pierce. Next game, Giants at Commanders.
Oh God. It's lower than mid. This is trash. Commanders. I can't find a way to pick the Giants. The Giants
Yeah.
They won a game. How many games? They won like 2, right?
I think the Giants won 2 games.
Shockingly, I'm shocked they won that many games.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, man. Brian Daboll looking like Skilo. One-hit wonder.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm taking the Commanders at home. Even though again it's a division game, the Giants will play tough, but I'm taking the Commanders by 7.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The next game, Dallas Cowboys at Carolina Panthers.
Who you pick this one first? Because I might get in it. Did we disagree on the game yet?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you pick first.
We don't. I'm sure we're gonna disagree.
It is, but this game could be on the upset alert.
Yeah. Cowboys. This is a short week for them because they play on Thanksgiving. They're on the road. I actually think this game is going to be a little closer than people think. But that said, the Cowboys beat the Panthers, so I'm taking the Cowboys by 6.
I want to pick because I can see it. I can just see it's such a Cowboy thing to choke a game like this away. It's such a Cowboy thing to choke this. My soul is telling me that the Cowboys might lose this game. How did they play that last? I think they blew out the last team they supposed to blew out, right? Let me check. They played the Giants again, right? The Giants don't count.
They played the Giants with the third string quarterback. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I didn't want to so bad, but I can see it happening. It's such a Cowboy thing for them to do. But go ahead. What's next?
Titans at Jaguars. Jaguars coming off a terrible loss last week against the 49ers.
Trevor Lawrence had a knee injury. Is he good?
He's been playing with a knee injury the last few weeks. He's
gonna play regardless.
Yeah.
Man, the Titans suck. They got Will Levis. I'm gonna go Jaguars. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna go safe with that one. That ain't the one to take the risk on.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jaguars.
Watch they lose too. Yeah, man, it's just Jaguars thing to jag a game away.
Listen, the way they was smacked last week by San Francisco at home.
They scored 3 points.
Yeah, it was ugly. Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking the Jaguars. I'm gonna take the Jaguars by 8.
All right, so we got to pick different at some point. You up a lot of games. Take a risk, man. You up like 3 games.
There's a couple on here. It's gonna be a tight one. Next game, Cardinals at Texans.
Oh, Texas. CJ Stroud all the way, baby. I'm with the CJ Stroud train till the wheels go off. I'm with the CJ Stroud train.
Now, I will say Kyler Murray looked pretty good coming back last week. That's it. I'm taking the Texans.
Okay. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, take Texas by a touchdown. Next game, Buccaneers at 49ers.
Oh. I can't do it. 49ers. I can't do it.
Yeah, neither can I.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
49ers seem like they righted the ship last week in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. You see how that Chase Young and Bosa look together on that line?
Yeah. Now, I will say, again, the Buccaneers defensively are solid. Baker Mayfield will make some throws, but I think the Niners will just be too much for them at home. So I'm taking the Niners by 13.
All right.
Next game, Jets at Bills.
The question is, can the Jets score off these turnovers when they come?
You want me to answer that for you?
Yes.
No, they can't.
I mean, the defense, like run a pick 6 in or a fumble 6 in. I ain't saying.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm assuming like they get a turnover and the offense has to come on.
Oh, no, God, no. That's not gonna happen. Hold on, hold on. Wait, let me check the rest of the schedule because I ain't looking at it. I'm trying to be shocked with it, but I gotta be strategic. Okay, what else left on this list that I could take a risk on? Because if this gets the game to take a risk on, this might be the game.
I mean, just don't think about the schedule. Just focus on this game.
Nah. I gotta win. I gotta win. I'm gonna take the Bills. And I know they're gonna lose. I can see it.
Oh man.
I can see them losing this game.
Again, this game to me is like the Raiders and Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jets will play tough. I just don't know if they'll score enough points.
That's true.
I don't think their offense can get them 17 points.
No.
And so at Anderson, Buffalo, I'm taking the Bills at home.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take the Bills by 7.
Okay.
Even though, again, to your point, if they can get a pick 6 or they can get a special teams,
it's coming.
I think it'll be a much closer game, and they have a chance to steal it. Next game.
If you got parlays, take the defense scoring a touchdown. You might get one in that game.
You might get one. Next game, Seahawks at Rams.
I'll let you go first.
Rams did beat the Seahawks to open the season in Seattle.
They did, Sean. I'll let you pick first on this one. That's a close one.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
Ooh.
Salute, Taj.
I'm gonna go Rams, actually.
Okay.
The Rams will sweep the season.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna go Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Seahawks. I'm gonna take the Seahawks by 6. Seahawks have not. They're playing okay. I do think they haven't quite hit their stride yet. And they were in a dogfight last week with Washington at home. But obviously they pulled it out. But Geno did play better. Played one of his better games of the season. So I'm taking the Seahawks.
Sean, we suck, bro. I'm sorry. I'm just it's depressing.
No, you're fine. Sunday night game: Vikings at Broncos.
It's gonna be close. Jay Jetta should be back, right?
He might be back.
Dobbs hot. The Broncos just snuck one off, so they feeling themselves.
Broncos are actually playing better football the last month of the season.
They actually are. I feel like you try to convince me to pick the Broncos because you're taking the Vikings.
This was a tough one for me to pick.
You go first. I don't know what to pick.
I'm gonna take the Vikings.
Okay, I'll take the Broncos. I can do that.
Right.
I can take Broncos.
Yeah.
Believe in danger.
Yeah, I like what Dobbs is doing, and the Vikings defense under Brian Flores. I think they're gonna be opportunistic. They'll get a couple off of Russell.
Yeah.
Game. So I'm taking.
He will give it up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the Vikings by 6.
Okay.
All right. Key games of the week. 2 key games of the week.
Key games of the week. What 2 key games do we have this week, Sean?
First game, Steelers at Browns.
The battle of the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, it's two great defenses. Both of them top 5. But I won't be crazy calling them 2 top 5 defenses. Would I be wrong for that? Top 10 for sure.
The top 10 for sure. Played a tough one on Monday Night Football. Steelers ended up getting 14 points from their defense on Monday Night Football earlier this season.
This game is going to come down to me, honestly, who can run the ball better. And because I don't really trust Kenny Pickett or the backup, or it's just like who defense execute off turnovers. which is a 50-50 on both because both defense can do it. And then you got a backup quarterback in play. And then you got Kenny Pickett in play. No, because he could probably pick it, but the Steelers beat them with Deshaun Watson early this year, correct? I remember, as I recall. It wasn't Walker that was in. They beat them with Deshaun Watson.
But the Steelers defense ended up scoring like 14 points that game.
14 points that game. And it's Walker, PJ Walker, who's there.
No, it's this one is DJT, is Dorian Thompson from UCLA, the rookie.
The rookie. So the rookie starting against the Steelers defense.
Yeah,
I gotta go Steelers. That's the dynamic for me. I gotta take the Steelers. That rookie QB, but it's still possible that their defense could win it either way. This could go either. Whatever defense play better, gonna win.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns in this one.
Wow.
Yeah, the game's in Cleveland. I feel like you're gonna see one of the best defensive games from them. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be an ugly game. I think it's gonna be an absolute ugly game. It was like 12-9, 15-12. Gonna be one of those. It's gonna be a field goal game. Don't know how the weather's gonna be in Cleveland because I didn't check that, but I'm taking the Browns by 3.
So you said Hill Santos Escobar is amazing. Todd, we're gonna have to do lock up for a wrestling show. Todd, you got to talk to wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay. Next key matchup: the Super Bowl rematch
on Monday night. Don't know if we're gonna be live during the game, if we're gonna pre-record. Haven't figured that out yet. But Eagles at Chiefs. SB, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
You're a dirty. You're the dirtiest player in the game. That was a Ric Flair move right there. You put the tough. This is the toughest pick of the night.
Yeah.
The Eagles are playing good. I wouldn't say Jalen Hurts is playing his best, but they still win.
Right.
And Mahomes and them, it's been kind of iffy and shaky with them, but they still. It breaks my heart to pick this team.
I gotta say two things. Both teams are coming off bye weeks, which is very interesting.
And at Arrowhead.
Yeah, and at Arrowhead. Andy Reid is usually unbeatable off a bye week. I want to say, like in his career, he's like 18-3 off a bye week in the regular season or something like that. 18-4, something like that. Yeah, he's usually, unstoppable after a bye week.
Yeah, making my pick for me, Sean. Then you convinced me.
But the Eagles are coming off a bye as well. So
they're fresh too.
They'll be fresher.
And they want their get back.
Yeah, no Dallas Goedert for the Eagles at tight end. Obviously, no Kobe Dean at linebacker for the Eagles. This game to me is going to come down to matchups. I don't know if to me it's going to come down to the Chiefs secondary against the Eagles wide receiving core.
Wide receiver, yep.
And we know what AJ Brown's done all season. We know Devontae Smith is a good number 2. They've gotten some really, solid play out of, off his couch Julio Jones. I think his reps will pick up now without Dallas Goedert, who's out with the injury. And I don't think the Chiefs receiving core scares the Eagles secondary. And the secondary of the Eagles has been kind of their weak spot this year, just because they've had more guys starting their secondary this year. The only team that started more guys in the secondary is Carolina. So mix and match. They've been mixing and matching a lot of lineups in the secondary.
So you sound like you're taking the Eagles there.
Well, I'm waiting for you to make your pick.
I said the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs.
You're taking the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'm going fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh, yeah. We getting dubbed this week, guys. Let's go.
I'm going fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah. I'm going to take the Eagles by 2.
Oh. Chiefs by 10.
You're taking the Chiefs by 10?
By 10.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yep. I will say, though, Patrick Mahomes did not get sacked in the Super Bowl. He will get sacked Monday night.
He's not.
he's getting sacked Monday night.
I don't see so. I don't see it happening.
He's getting sacked at least once. He is not
3 touchdowns, 300 plus yards.
Yeah, and I will say, to me, the key matchup for me is obviously people talk about Travis Kelce, but Kevin Byard, who came over in the trade from the Titans a couple weeks ago. This is his money game to me.
Yeah, that's where he make his money at.
Yeah, this is against Travis Kelce. So, because again, with the injuries in the linebacking core, to me, this Kevin Byard got to make his money against Travis Kelce this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the game.
Yeah. So those are our picks for the week. Key matchups. Looking forward to that Monday night game. That's going to be a fun one. Don't know if we're going to pre-record or not.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If we watch it, if we go live, call the game. Call the look.
It might be rough, but yeah.
Might be rough, yeah. But appreciate you guys. That has been another great episode of Real Takes Over Fake Debates. Me, SB, and my boy Sean. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys subscribe. Episode 31, Sean. Only thing I have to say about 31 is that Reggie Miller is overrated. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh man. Yeah, wow.
I hate Reggie Miller, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, he might be the most famous 31. Yeah, it might be the most famous 31. I was trying to think of some other ones real quick. It's not a lot of 31s because 31 is kind of an arbitrary number.
It's odd.
Which is why a lot of people, trying to think who's wore 31. Cam Chancellor. Shout out to Cam Chancellor.
Cam Chancellor, okay.
After
that, let me see.
Yeah, man, who was wore 31?
Yeah, I don't really see nobody.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, Greg Maddux. Shout out to Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux, yep.
The best pitchers ever from the Braves.
I see Donnie Shell of the Steelers, Jamal Lewis,
Hall of Fame safety from the Steelers, yeah.
Ferguson Jenkins, like you said, Maddox. You said Maddox already, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
somebody else. But yeah, let's go ahead and shut it down because I guess little mama keep coming in here. So
yeah, no, hey, listen, you'll be on daddy duty. Yeah,
daddy duties.
Yeah, daddy duties. Yes.
All right, man, brother. All right, Sean. Peace. Salute everybody. We finna shut it down. See you guys on Monday.
Salute everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Little mama done shut the show down. Yeah, man. Appreciate, salute everybody. We are out of here. Sean, I'm winning this week, so I'm letting you know. We winning this.
Yeah, listen, that's like hope.
This might be a little hope. Might be a little hope. It's a will, there's a way. This ain't the will that we want, not Will Smith. The will is a way.